Hey guys, today we're going to take a little look at fractions. We're going to review them a little bit. Some of this is going to be pretty basic and other stuff might be a little new to you. Okay, first off, fraction. Okay, we've all seen them, we all love them, I know you do. Okay, what a fraction is a number usually expressed in the form a over b. So for example, of course, you could have something like the fraction 1/2. Okay, it's in the form a over b. That's what a fraction is. Very straightforward. Okay, make sure you're taking notes, following along. Okay, next you got numerator. The numerator is just the top number in a fraction. So if you had the fraction 3/4, what would your numerator be? Well, obviously it's in the top, so your numerator would be 3. Okay, you guys have all seen this before. No big deal. Okay, denominator. Okay, the denominator is the bottom number in your fraction. So if you had the fraction 2/3, obviously denominator gonna be 3. All right. Now, the two things that I want to look at that you may not have seen before are mixed numbers and improper fraction. A mixed number is just a whole number and a fraction put together. So for example, you could have a whole number. So we could have 3, and then you just have a fraction behind it. Let's just put 1/3. Okay, so that's a mixed number, a whole number, then a fraction behind it. Now an improper fraction is a fraction, remember a fraction being a over b, where the numerator is greater than the denominator. Okay, so your numerator being the top could be something like 7, and your bottom would be 3. You just have to have something where the numerator is greater than the denominator. Okay? So make sure you familiarize yourself with these 5 different things. Very important to know. Alright? Now, in the past, reducing fractions may have been an issue for you. Okay? Now I'm going to try to make this a little easier. Alright? We're going to use a calculator. I'm going to assume that you have the one that we use in class. Okay? Now, let's say you have the example 35 over 60. Some of you may have an issue reducing that, but we're going to use our calculator. Okay, so what you want to type in, go ahead and type in 35, and then you want to go ahead and find that button that says A, then B over C. So push 35, A, B, C button, and then 60. Okay, go ahead and enter that, and what should come out is 7 over 12. Okay? So that's just an easy way that you can get fractions and reduce them in your calculator. Okay? Now let's do a couple U tries. Alright, the first is 52 over 100. Okay, so go ahead and type that in your calculator. Remember, you would type in 52 and then this button and then type in your 100. Okay. What comes out is 13 over 25. Okay, so it just makes life a little bit easier for you. It kind of cuts out some of the math, maybe a few of the mistakes. Now let's try the next one. Okay, this time I'm going to give you 13 over 28. I want you to take a second, go ahead and plug that fraction in using what we just learned up here and see what happens. Alright, when it comes out, you should have, of course, 13 over 28. It's already in lowest reduced terms. Okay, so this is just a fun little tool in your calculator that can cut out some of that difficulty in reducing fractions. Alright. Now we're going to move on to mixed number and turning that into an improper fraction. Remember, a mixed number is a number where you have a whole number then a fraction. And an improper fraction meaning the numerator is greater than the denominator. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. You can do it by hand, and I'll teach you that first, then we can do it using a calculator. Okay, so let's try the example 2 3/4. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to do it by hand. Okay, so in the directions right here, it says first multiply the whole number by the denominator. So we're going to multiply the whole number by the denominator, doink. And 2 times 4 is 8. And then it says add the numerator to that number. Okay, so the numerator is 3, so we're going to add 3. 8 plus 3 gives us 11. And then you're just going to put your denominator underneath. Okay, so your old denominator was 4, it's going to stay 4. Okay, so that is how you do it by hand. Alright, so it's not so bad, but some people may want to see the calculator version. Okay, so here's the calculator version. We got the example 2 3/7. If you want to use your calculator, you would type in 2, and then your ABC button, then 3, ABC button, 7. Okay, that should give you something that looks like this on your calculator. It should say 2 and 3/7. Okay. But we want to convert that to an improper fraction. So while that's still on your screen, go ahead and push second, then your ABC button, and enter. Okay? So this should turn into 17/7. Okay? So you can do the same thing by hand or on the calculator. It's whatever you're comfortable with. Okay? So make sure you have this page. Pause, rewind, do whatever you got to do to get all this stuff down, and go ahead and move on. Alright, I got a little joke for you. If you guys watch enough of my videos, you'll hear all kinds of jokes. You'll grow to love my humor, I imagine. Okay, got a joke for you. What has no arms and no legs and is in a fire? Excuse me. That was bad. What's the name of a guy with no arms and no legs and a fire? Think about it. Think about it. Bernie. Get it? Fire. Bernie. I think they're funny. You probably don't, but that's okay. Okay, now we're going to learn how to do improper fractions to mixed numbers. Okay, so let's do an example. I'll show you how to do it by hand. Okay, we'll do the example 5/3. Okay, so in the instructions it says divide the numerator by the denominator. Okay, so it's 5 divided by 3. How many times does 3 go into 5? Well, of course, the whole number answer is going to be 1. Okay, 3 goes into 5 one time. Okay, then we're going to write down any remainder above the denominator. Okay, so the remainder, if you divide it, 3 goes into 5 one time, 2 left over. Okay, so 2 goes in your numerator, and then what goes in your denominator is your old denominator. Okay, so we're going to bring that guy over here, and 5/3 becomes 1 2/3. Okay, so that's the way you do it by hand. Now let's try it on the calculator. Alright, calculator. If you want to do it on a calculator, let's use the example 28/3. You would type in 28, then your ABC button, 3, and then push enter, and that should give you the number 9 1/3. Okay, so it's very easy. I tend to think the calculator simplifies things, makes it a little easier. Alright, I'm going to give you a couple tries. Okay, the first one, we're going to try 1 5/9. Okay, let's go ahead and do this on a calculator. Now what would you want to do if you typed it on a calculator? You would type in 1 ABC 5 ABC 9. Okay, now this gives you what should look like this on your calculator. You should have 1 and 5/9. Okay, that's not what we want though. We want an improper fraction. So what you have to do, after you have it like this on your calculator, push second, then ABC, and this should come out to be 14/9 now. Okay, so pretty straightforward. All right, secondly, oop. All right, let's go ahead and try one where we write the improper fraction as a mixed number. So for example, we got 10 over 4. If you wanted to use the calculator, you would type in 10 ABC 4. And that would give you 2 1/2. Okay? I'll give you a couple of examples if you want to look more at it. Give you 3 4/5 and 45 over 7. And so here's just a couple of different examples that may help you out a little bit more if you want to keep going. Alright, lastly, adding and subtracting fractions. Hey, in the past you would have to find a common denominator, do all that. Ugh, that's no fun at all. Okay, so instead, we're going to use our calculator. So up here we have the example, 2/5 plus 7/9. If you wanted to add those, we're going to use our ABC button some more. So you would type in 2 ABC 5 plus 7 ABC 9. Okay, and what should come out is 1 8/45. Okay, so you got a mixed number, but what if you wanted to turn that into an improper fraction? Okay, if you wanted to do that, all you would have to do is leave what's on your screen, then push second, then ABC, and enter. And what ends up coming out is 53 over 45. Okay, so this really simplifies moving numbers from improper fractions to mixed numbers and vice versa. Alright, let's go ahead and try a couple of these. Okay, first one, let's do 33/6 minus 1/3. Okay, take a minute and go ahead and do that on your calculator. I'll give you a nice beat until then. Okay, sorry to scar you. Okay, so go ahead and type in 33 ABC 6 minus 1 ABC 3. And that will give you 5 1/6. But the instructions say we want it as an improper fraction. So let's go ahead and push second ABC. And that gives us our final answer, which is 31/6. Okay, let's try one more. This time we're going to do 2 4/5. And we're going to add to it 7/10. Okay, let's go ahead and type in. You would type in 2 ABC 4 ABC 5 plus 7 ABC 10. And this would give you 3 1/2. Then we're going to change that mixed number to a improper fraction. So we push second ABC, and that gives you 7/2. Okay. Now the two that I want you to practice by yourself is 7 minus 2 4/5 and 7/3 plus 3 3/4. Okay, have fun, finish up your notes, study them. Again, if you would like to rewatch the video if you want to, listen to my joke, whatever you got to do. See ya.